Good night to everyone. Doing a little late live tonight. I couldn't be on at exact 7 p.m. tonight. Right, so some persons who were trying to get on, I hope that they will join us here tonight. Right, I was able to sort out some stuff. And tonight we have a guest here in studio with us. So before we bring on the guest, I will leave you all with the opportunity to share the live so that our viewers wouldn't miss out. Right? And some persons were waiting for 26 minutes, and now we are finally here. Right? So I am trusting that you all will assist with sharing the live wherever you are. You don't need to go anywhere to share. Just stay right where you are and click share. You can also share this to Facebook. You can share it to WhatsApp. And if your contacts do not have Facebook, they can join us on YouTube, where they also have that opportunity to join in discussion via comments. I want to try and give it a little share here now. I hope I will be successful with my attempt to share this live. Right. Tonight we're going to address the job. We are definitely going to address the job tonight. Right, so it is always best when we could hear from the people who know better than us, the people who could speak with authority because they are speaking from experience. And when we are only able to speak based on what we observe, based on what we hear, based on what we think, with our own assessment, it doesn't always be as when someone else with the experience is bringing it to you. So tonight we have someone with the experience, and we are trusting that you will assist by sharing the live. Right? It is important that you hear from tonight more than hearing from me tonight. So please share the live, share the live, share the live before we bring on the guests. We don't want anyone to miss out. Right? I myself trying to share it here. Again, sorry for the late start. Had some stuff trying to sort out, and you know how these days going. These days we have quite a lot. I've seen 5 viewers thus far. Right, so we have a guest in studio, and tonight I will just speak about the job. Right, none other than the job. We have some things that we will hear from the guests, and I also have some things that I want to speak about. Right, let me see how quick I could get on here and do one more share. Kind of mixing up this thing here tonight, but I'll get into it. I'll get into here. Right, so give me one more minute. Right, that's what we're talking about there, man. Right, so I didn't get to share much, but I'll share a few, and as I start, and I'm not going to let much pass before I bring on the guests. But before I do so, let me say that we are at the point where we need to put up resistance, whether we want to, whether we feel to, whether we like that kind of thing or we don't really like that kind of thing, because some people saying that they don't really like certain approach. Right now we have no choice, and Thursday night you all will know why. Thursday night you all will know why. Right, so tonight we're talking about the job, and yes, we take same calls tonight too. 770-306-2494-542. We will take your calls to hear from you tonight as well. Right, so let me hear what you all think about the job, but we're going to have somebody telling us now about the job. I'm not going to see what angle the person is bringing it from, right? I will allow the person to come on now, introduce themselves. Please share the live. Everybody needs to hear this. Every person needs to hear this right now. So share the live and let's bring on our guest in studio with us here tonight. Good night and welcome.
Hi, good night, Junior. How are you?
Well, I am Tim Tall and terrific as usual.
All right, and good night to the listening public as well.
Yes, so tonight I'm very happy to have you on with us, and I'm opening the floor now to you. I am handing it all over to you to share from your own perspective, right? So it's not going to be so much like an interview where I have this long list of questions waiting for you, right? So based on what you say along the way, you know, I might have a little question coming, right? So straight over to you. You take the floor now, take the mic.
All right. Good night, everyone. My name is Ayana Kojo Alexander, and I'm here to give my perspective on what I think about the job or the effects of the job. Now, I have had the job. My final shot was on the 6th of this month. And reason for having the job, most people do it out of fear or job security and having the option of taking care of their families. And that was my option. Fear, studying the security of my work, and also there are places where only the vaccinated can go. That was one of my concerns in being able to provide for my family, my daughters, my son, and my grandchildren. Firstly, I wasn't into having the job. Being a diabetic and taking full care of myself, losing a lot of weight, almost over 60 pounds, by doing the right thing, exercising, and bringing back some health to my life, I was concerned about having the job, as they say. But when the options started to get limited, in the sense that if you don't, what can happen? Then I'm starting hearing about the different variants, which had me more scared, not realizing having the job could put me at greater risk of the variants. Now, I'm not a medical doctor, but there are so many unanswered questions that I have about something that I was allowed to put into my body. How safe it is, how much research have been done on it, how long have they been planning it. And then I'm seeing these different things being posted up on media. And when I look at what's happening in Trinidad and Tobago, I see it's a choice of no choice in where they're forcing us without saying they're forcing us and they're taking away our rights. Now, again, everybody has their choice, everybody has their point of view. I will not tell someone do not become vaccinated, and I will not tell someone get vaccinated. That is a personal decision. But my concerns are I, as a parent, did this. And after my first shot, I was doing really good, continuing with my work, helping my younger one with her schoolwork, dealing with my clients, my patients, everything that I had to do. And somehow I convinced my better half to also have the job when he see how well I did after my first shot. On the day of my second shot was the day of his first shot. And when I got home, I got really, really sick. Now, beside me having diabetes, which it was my A1C was at a terrible 9.5, in which I reversed up 4.5 because of healthy habits, losing weight, eating right. I got terribly ill that very sad day, that Wednesday, the 6th of October. I got so sick that my children got scared and my husband was afraid. He had to do everything for me, everything possible he had to do for me. My throat became so inflamed. It was as white as this paper. Both sides. Can't sleep, can't eat, sweating profusely. It was a turning point where fear overtook me. And I got up feeling like I was drowning, literally drowning, just to see my husband and my daughter trying to wake me up and my bed soaked with sweat. The most funny smelling liquid was coming out of my pores. I'm not exaggerating, I'm not making this up. This is what happened to me. And it got me so scared. Now, passing that issue, as I said, I did this for the well-being of my adult children, my minor child, and my beautiful grandchildren. And then I see I was putting my life at risk because these effects started happening after the jab. But my main concern is, now I'm not quoting, I'm alleging, I'm saying from what I'm hearing, that they want to make it mandatory for children from 5 to 12 years to be vaccinated. Our healthy, functional, no comorbidities, no mental or health issues, they want to vaccinate them. And then they're classifying to put it in the same category as our children have been taking vaccines from since they were 2 months old. In no way would I put these trial vaccine, in comparison to the vaccine that the children have been taking. And why would you want to take a healthy, functional human, their prime, in the growth, their most impressionable years, and put these unknown poison into them? What is the ulterior motive? What is the reason? And that is the big question mark I have over my head. Now they say we as parents are responsible for our minor children. If they get into sexual activity under a certain age, we are responsible. If they get in trouble with the court of law, we are responsible. If they violate someone in any way or do anything wrong, we are responsible. We have to sign once they're underage for them to take any examination from SEA, CXC. If they have to travel and go anywhere, we are responsible. If they are left at home alone, we are responsible. If the house burned with them, we have a million questions to answer because we are responsible. So why are you taking away the responsibilities from us when it comes to you vaccinating our well, healthy children? And then the statement is made, you don't mind stepping in on behalf of the children. So you don't mind stepping in and giving our children a death sentence, I would call it. I am confused. I am afraid. I am worried. I don't know how else to say it. But there will be a fight I will be putting up because I do not believe you have the right to inject my 8-year-old, my 4-year-old grandson, my 4-year-old granddaughter, even when they reach 5, or my last grandchild, my sweet Alec. I am not going to allow anyone to endanger their life. I and my husband and I took that risk for them already because we are responsible. We are the adults, they are the minors. And from the beginning of time, we know we are responsible. So I don't see how you're shifting our responsibility and making it yours to give our children a death sentence.
I just want to ask you something before you continue, right? We hear a lot of people talking about things that happening to persons who take the jab, right? And a lot of people too. So I know at some point you will see how you were able to overcome, or not totally overcome, but be in a better position right now because you're sounding a little better than a few days ago. We're not fully recovered, but you want to share, you mind sharing with the listening audience what was some of the experience that you probably would have heard about before and then you experience it for yourself?
All right. 1 or 2 persons who have taken the jab as myself, they related feeling really well at their first shot. Just a few at their first shot say they had like headaches and sore throat, a little stiff muscle pain, or some say it was just isolated to the area in which they received the jab. But the other few had problems after the second shot, high fevers, headache, stiff joint pain, swollen throat, tonsillitis, problems swallowing, even some of elaborating problems going to the toilet, having regular bowel movements after. And these are the few problems I've heard. Some I saw a video where people were having issues with the blood and the white blood cells. No, this wasn't said to me. I saw this by a doctor online. I didn't see this one personally, but this is some of the things I'm saying. So I'm going to have my blood checked also, in which the white blood cells were no longer identifying other bacteria or what is foreign to the body beside the COVID. So fungus and other things started growing and the white blood cells wasn't fighting these other things. So those are some of the other things I was hearing. But with the things that seem familiar to myself, which happened to me, like the sore throat, the dizziness, headaches, cold sweat, trouble ambulating. Well, ambulating means walking, trouble standing up on sturdy legs. These are issues I had. And still, if I try to stand up abruptly, I get really dizzy. That wasn't something happening to me. I'm still suffering from dry mouth, dry throat. Right now, I'm tempted to take a drink of water, excuse me. I actually feel like my throat's sticking together, the back of my mouth sticking together, and my mouth is constantly dry. Now, I'm somebody who exercises frequently. To lose 60+ pounds, you have to put in some work. And I made the attempt to try to exercise, and I got terribly dizzy. I had to sit down, and even I walk out to the front of my house where there are steps to come in from the road to by me. Normally I'd make it straight up. I can't. I'm getting winded in between, and that is something that wasn't happening because I tell you, I'm very physically active, and I've brought myself to one stage in life to this stage, so I had to be doing some physical work and some serious taking care of to reach to this. And I'm not able to do it presently. And I was doing it just the day before the jab, if you know what I'm saying. So then I know something is wrong. Now, one of the reasons I do not want to go to the hospitals, and then not being a rich person to go to specialists, one of the reasons not going to the hospitals is because a very close relative of mine have been having some serious issue. Every time she goes to the hospital with this serious issue, they say she has a fever and they quarantine her. And they do it again. Now, I know when you have a fever, it's because of something foreign and your white blood cells is fighting against it. And before the COVID, people were having issues with many different ailments and fevers and a lot of other things, and they wasn't quarantining them. I'm not saying don't be careful because it's COVID, but please stop ignoring the general public. And every time they walk into the hospital, the issue is COVID. And then people are staying home and are dying because they are afraid to go to the hospital to contract COVID, or they know it's not COVID because this has been happening to them too constant, and they don't want to get quarantined again. And the fact is, when they just give you a letter and they say, okay, we quarantine you for so much and so much a days, you have nobody, not everybody's fortunate to have somebody to go shop for them, somebody to get the things they need. And like that individual who have 2 young children, she cannot move left, cannot move right, have to depend on somebody if somebody feels to do it. And they paralyze your lifestyle. And not only that, those people who are getting bare minimum income, they paralyze their way of making their income. And all of these things have to be into consideration. And I don't think they're thinking about these things, because here they are humans on the lower scale financially, and persons are literally suffering. And everything your prognosis and diagnosis, when you prognose something, you diagnose it as COVID and quarantine persons. So people feel they have no option. So sometimes somebody may really have the COVID, and because of what have been happening, they don't want to come to the hospitals, and you all are not making it easier. Expressing the heavy fines you'll place on them, limiting their way of making income, secluding them to their homes where they're already frustrated and depressed and gaining anxiety. Someone not too far from me committed suicide just the last week gone. And they talk on television and say all what they're going to do and what they're not going to do, but they're not looking into the welfare of the population at hand. It is disheartening. It is. And persons feeling, listen to me, the feeling of fear is the demise of most. When people start feeling fearful and threatened and there are no other choice, this is when persons most time makes the wrong decision. School children, this is another issue. They are locked up in the house without much escape. They cannot relate to their friends. They're in the house because their parents can't take them out because of the fear of COVID. And these little ones may or may not have siblings, and they feel so isolated. And one of the functions of a child that keeps a child mentally regulated is play and communication with other children, people their own age, with their own interests. And they are being limited. And I can give a very good example. I have a little one who does really well. But up to today, when the class was going on, she was like, I am fed up. And nobody's saying these things for her to hear. So it's her words of expression. And tears in the eye, and she cannot go on, and she's feeling frustrated over the computer for how long? And not to say she's not a capable child. She does well every time. But this is having mental effects on them. And then when you have frustrated parents on top of that, the child already frustrated. And do not ask a child what you're frustrated about, because there are things that do frustrate children. There are things that have children worried and frightened. And when they see their parents who most time worrying about how they're going to bring them a bread, their parents who's feeling isolated themselves, their parents who can't take them away with no sense of escape when it comes to relief and recreation. And then maybe people on the really low income list. And this child is feeding all this negativity and seeing all the suffering the parents are going through. The effect is downpouring on the child, and it's going to show. And we'll have more frustrated young people going into adults, being even more frustrated adults. You know, when you think about it, and what persons are going through, and you stop for a minute and you really think, some of us may be able to cope differently and have way of expressing or dealing with the anxiety and the stress. Not everybody is able. And as I always say, mental illness is not far from every door. Mental illness is more serious than we know. And mental illness doesn't mean that you're stuck staring mad walking the street without clothes, you know. It's because of the worry and the everyday anxiety, and it makes you unstable. That is a bit of mental illness, and it depends on how you're able to process or deal with it. It can become worse. What are they doing to really help us? What? Just keep threatening us, having us feeling fearful, running and taking something that is making us more ill. And they say we're doing it for our job security, but then our jobs are still not sure. What's the answer? What is the answer?
Okay, so I'm going to put up some of the comments on the screen where you should be able to see it hopefully on your screen as well. And
no, well, I'm not using my laptop. I'm using a smaller screen, so I'm not seeing.
Okay, well, I will. What up? My audio, they hear you loud and clear, but they will hear me so clear because my internet poor, right? Your internet is right up, my internet is poor. So they can see you clean and they will see me so clear, right?
Okay, I'm seeing some. I'm seeing some. Mr. Bila, he's saying, remember, corona is a Latin word for mentality. So this is a mental virus fueled by fear and everything associated with fear. And he's so correct about that.
Right? You see it bigger on the screen there now? In front
Yes, I
of you?
pull it up. Yes, yes.
Nice. So I will just put them up, and if you want to respond to any, you can go right ahead.
All right, I'm seeing this one here where they say mental illness is what the health official is causing onto us. And yes, but I don't know if they're aware of it, but mental illness is definitely what is happening. Mental illness because of all the stress, frustration, and fear and feeling of no choice. I like this comment.
At any point,
Huh?
no, go ahead and respond to the comment. I'll ask the question after.
Okay, I'm seeing this one here. We say, remember, corona is a Latin word for mentality. So this is a mental virus fueled by fear and everything associated with fear. That is also true. That is definitely true.
At any time you thought you was going to die?
Junior? Yes, I told my husband one morning, I didn't want to tell him that I thought I was going to die. I told him that I felt death. I felt no way to breathe. My body felt completely strange from anything it have been through over the 44 years. It felt completely alien to this being. I was confused in a way that I didn't feel my mind capacity was normal or it was something I was able to control. I lie down on the bed and I'm staring and I'm not sure if I'm in my bed or where I was. It took me a few seconds to catch myself. And even my daughter said, Mommy, your skin smelling funny.
Before you continue, viewers, please share the live. Please share the live, because we really hearing it not from Daniel George coming and talk on this night live stream, but we hearing from the person who have authority to speak, because she is speaking with experience. Please share the live, viewers. Go right ahead.
You know what pained me is my little girl asking me, Mommy, I have to go and get an injection, or they don't put that in me. And then I realized that is what they're coming with. And most of the things they say they were going to do, they actually did. And so I know that very soon today or tomorrow, as I was having a conversation with somebody over WhatsApp today, that definitely we could wake up in the morning and hear this is what they say we have to do, vaccinate our from 5 to 12-year-olds. And my little girl said, Mommy, don't let them put that in me. She said, Mommy, I'm afraid of you dying. And she's not too far, Junior. I wouldn't put her on camera because I don't want people seeing my little one, but I wanted to come and say what she said to me today. Come on now. I don't want you on the camera. Right, say what you said to me today. They don't want your mommy to die and lie. Go ahead.
I don't want my mommy to die because I love her and all we been through for this 8 years. My mommy has taken good care of me, and if she dies, that will break my heart down that I wouldn't stop crying. My mommy is the best mommy I have ever known, and I love her very, very, very much. So I don't want her to die, and I love her really much. And that is what I want to say.
So, Julia, you heard her?
Before you go, viewers, here we're going on, eh? Well, you know me, I just get well aggressive and things sometimes, and it's not because I like bacchanal, but you know, I just want to see the right thing and hear the right thing. But all you know what's going on, this person speaking here is my cousin, and now hearing my little cousin talking in the background, my eyes full. Right? It's a good thing my screen smaller right now, so well, you can't really see. But I didn't even know my little cousin saying all this. And this is hitting me direct here. It's hitting me well hard. And it's like I now feel like all my energy drop just listening to my baby cousin. I don't even know how to continue saying how I feel about that. I'm well sad thinking about it. I'm well sad. I'm very sad. Right? But I want to ask you if you're okay with it to tell us what would have gone through your mind while you're there, you're thinking you're going to die, and you're thinking about you're thinking about what the future could be like, the immediate future, what could happen with your children the next week, the same day. How you were able to, what was going through your mind, and how were you able to process it, if you were even able to process?
I don't know if everybody is like me. And my husband, he didn't want me to even take this injection because he always remind me. One of his things he would always say to me is, baby, you have to keep taking care of yourself because we need you. And when I was almost 300 plus pounds, those words were my inspiration because he would always remind me to take care of myself. Until, I'm saying all this to get to what you asked me, until when I started exercising and taking care of myself, he started coming. Now he's slim and muscular, physically in shape. And he started coming out on my platform where we just cast, just to exercise with me. And my little girl will come outside and exercise with me until one day a cousin came to visit us. And he said, "Little, can I cast a band? This way here, this one there," because we all were out of time, but we exercising. And when I sat down to discuss the issue of having the jab with him, he expressed to me, "No, we need you. And we're going to do it the healthy way." And he started researching all the healthy herbs. And he said, "Look, your cousin's selling herbs, go to Junior," and all of that. I brought the herb tree. He went down and he planted them just to make sure that I take care of myself. And when I took the first jab, he kept observing me. He kept asking me if I'm okay. When I took the second jab and all my throat started getting sore and I started getting fever, I wake up in the night with him sit down looking at me, and he was afraid. Without saying so much, he's right around here, so I know he's hearing me. He was afraid. And he did everything possible for me just to get me feeling better. Boiling herbs, grating saffron. I mean, he did it. And my work is in the health industry. I take care of people when they come. That's the business I run. And to wake up feeling so confused, not knowing where you are, getting problems to take your breath. It was scary. I was wondering, will I see tomorrow? And only when I felt a little better that day, I told him, I was afraid to tell you, I thought I was going to die. And he stared onto me with a really blank face, because I know he felt those words. And a day I said, if I die, he said, don't even say that. And my little one keep expressing, "Mommy, you're going to be all right. Mommy, you okay? Mommy lied up." She'd bring water. And I saw the love and the concern. And then they both expressing, if they lose me, what that would be like. Life would never be the same. So that hurt me more than me thinking I wouldn't be here for them again. More than thinking more than, I'm not going to be here for my loved ones. They don't understand the scary position they're putting us, the general public, at. They just view us as numbers, as on every vaccination card, there's a number. The vaccine they give to you, there's a number. So they view us nothing more than a number. It's inhumane. It's impersonal. They do not see us as somebody's loved one. They don't see us as somebody's mother, somebody's wife, somebody's friend, sister, daughter. They don't see us as that. And
there's a question from Desha Lezama. I hope I'm calling people name correct on the screen.
Read it out for me, dear.
Mommy, could you tell us why you take the jab?
Okay. I sure will tell you why I took it. I work in the health industry, and then my private patients are also wanting persons to be vaccinated to take care of their loved ones. For me to send my nurses out, my nurses have to be vaccinated. I have to be vaccinated. And job security. I have loans to pay. I'm building my house. I have my children and my grandchildren to take care of. I'm putting away for my rainy day, for my older days. And the security of not being able, or the uncertainty of not being able to take care of my loved ones, I was willing to sacrifice me for them. Now, as I said earlier on, it's everybody's choice. And if I could change it back to just a few days from now, I would change it to not being vaccinated. So now I just have to consider doing the most to keep myself healthy so that I can, so the purpose of taking it would be a reality, because I took it for that purpose, and then to see it was all futile. I hope I answered your question there.
Someone is also saying, I appreciate you coming. Julian Joseph is saying, I appreciate you coming. Talk. I put it up on the screen here. I appreciate her coming to talk. I respect her a lot. Will always bless her more. God will always bless her. More should come out and speak up. Yes, Julian, we are expecting to have some more coming to speak out as well. Right? Persons are becoming comfortable. And one thing we need to continue doing to ensure that people are comfortable. We cannot judge anyone. Everybody understand their own situation and make a decision to suit.
Definitely, and that's another thing. Somehow this situation of being vaccinated is putting us against each other, the vaccinated against the unvaccinated. The vaccinated, to me now, is at greater risk of getting sick and die because of the compromise of our immune system. Before now, there were cancers and many other ailments, but our body were more able before the vaccine for RNA and DNA to take care of it to some extent. But now with a compromised immune system, the slightest infection could be our death, because somehow it seems to just be recognizing anything to do with the corona. And the other thing, even the common cold, it's not recognizing it as a threat to the human body, so it can do more damage because there's no defense. For my understanding, So there's a lot that haven't been said to us and a lot that have not been explained to us. And I'm wondering, why are they saying not mandatory, but yet it's making us job uncertain. It's making us the certainty we cannot go to certain places. We cannot do certain things. Our rights as human beings are being taken away. Simple like going certain places, sitting down certain places, going to the beach. And they say a person all work and no play make Jack a dull boy. And humans do need a release factor. Go out with the family, sit down, you're afraid to even take your children out because children are touchy. They touch somewhere, you think they're going to get the corona. And I have some very close friends who have contracted what they said was the corona and close to death. Very, very, very dear people to me. So I don't know what is everybody. If some people believe there's corona, they don't believe. I'm not disputing anybody's belief or anybody's choice to take the vaccine or not take the vaccine. But I can sit here and tell you what happened to me and why I was afraid to go to the public hospitals. Because first thing they will do is isolate me. and tell me something is wrong with me. Now, if they isolate me, I'm going to stay at home, because I'm not going to put anybody at risk. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to follow the laws of the land. But then now, my way of income was going to be limited. I wasn't going to be able to feed the same children they're asking me to protect with the virus, with this job that they themselves are not sure about. Then the mental illness of if I am really sick and my whole family get contaminated with it. Again, as some of the comments stated, it's a fear factor. And fear is what is causing most of our reaction with this coronavirus. Be it the fear of not being able to work, be it the fear of contracting the coronavirus, being the fear of suffering and dying from this coronavirus, having the fear of spreading it to loved ones in your home. The fear is that things ever going to get normal? So the fear factor is big, it's large. Okay, Jay, you can go ahead. Frozen.
Yeah. I'm not getting through.
You hearing me?
On my side here, dropping. That's why I was saying that the viewers will continue to see you and hear you clearly. Right? We getting a call here. Right? So what I will do, once you could hear the caller, you'll be able to respond and the viewers will hear your response. Right?
All right.
I'm gonna take the and see if you can liaise with the viewer. Yes, good night. You are
Hello,
live.
good night.
You are live.
Hi, good night. I have questions for mommy. Right? I'm calling from a concerned parent and a concerned mother and a concerned settlement. Right? My question goes out to you. Do you think the health ministry is putting enough information out to the public concerning these jobs? Like the side effects and stuff like, well, basically the side effects. Do you think they are putting out enough information out there to the public?
Now I have to be very careful what I'm stating. I'm not a doctor at any level. I'm not a doctor. I can only speak from my experience or give you my opinion. All right? But what I am saying, I've never heard them give a clear detail on side effects. Or if somebody go to them and complain what happened, I've never seen they have a press conference saying, well, this happened to this individual, that happened to that individual, and we're going to allow them to tell you. So I think they are shady, they're hiding things, and they're not transparent. That's my personal opinion. You understand?
Well, hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
The reason why I have asked the question is because I am feeling the same way as well. I had a relative who took the job. He said before he took the job, he took a certain job, and the job that he took, he said this job, it doesn't get any side effects from it. So a day after he took the job, he had high fever, he had chills, had body pain, sore throat,
like probably 3 days.
That sounds so familiar.
When he took the job, only side effects that there will be no side effects from the specific job that he went to administer himself. So that's why I asked the question, because I'm not seeing a lot of information being posted out on the side effects of the job, and people have been complaining that even though they said they get certain side effects from certain jobs, it's not certain side effects from certain jobs. It's more things and meets the eye of what they are just showing you. So that is why I have asked this question.
Well, you see the same question you ask?
Mm-hmm.
Those are some of the very same things that have crossed my mind. And running into people or speaking to people who have had similar side effects to me. One or two had gone to the hospital, and you know what they did? They quarantined them, give them some time home. So I don't think because they don't want to deter people or discourage people from taking the job, they're not going to express some of these side effects to us, the general public, until we experience it ourselves and share it. And even sharing it could be dangerous to us because they could say we're spreading propaganda. And if we're not careful, we could get ourselves into trouble. So, but I am speaking truth of what took place with me and how I see it from my point of view. And that's the most I can say. I do not see it as being transparent. There have been other person who related the issue that I'm going through here. And the reason I took it, people say, so why you do something? The reason I took it is because of fear and feeling that my back was against the wall and that my income was going to be compromised and I was not going to be able to pay my loan, build my house, and take care of my family. And
well,
I'm only giving it from my point of view. Sure?
That's the same reason why my relatives took it as well. They felt stayed on pressure because of the same job security and life and stuff. But it is not safe for persons to be threatened for these things. They place the entire country into a phase that says if you don't take this certain what we are giving you, you will have no rights, no freedom, you will have nothing. And it's not right. I have another question concerning the children. I don't know if I can ask.
Feel free.
Okay, seeing as you are a mother, right? How do you feel about this expired experimental vaccines onto the young kids from 5 years and up? How do you feel about that?
Repeat the latter part of your statement. As of Monday. Hello?
For you to repeat the last part of the statement.
Okay, the Prime Minister has said in a press conference that they are waiting on approval for jabs of 5-year-olds and up. And if they get the approval, they are going to make it mandatory for the kids to get back into the school as well. When he said that, I specifically knew where he was coming from. But before he said that, the health minister had came on he did an interview, I believe, on a press conference, and it was published on in newspapers that they are going to extend the date on a certain kiddies vaccine, the jab, till February, and the jab is expiring next month, I believe. So I just want to know, how do you feel about that, given kids extended expired jab?
I firstly have to take a deep breath. I haven't seen that for myself or heard of it, but I'm definitely, as I'm finished with this program, I'm going to do my digging. But let me tell the population something, all who's listening and all who may get this after. I had a smile because I don't want to say the wrong thing on air. Watch me. Listen to me carefully. You see that? They'll have to come for me. They will literally have to come for me. If it is mandatory, come for me. Because at no time, this precious gift I have as an 8-year-old, they contributed to my conceiving, they contributed to my birthing, they contributed to my rearing, they contributed to my love and taking care of. I have 3 grandbabies, a lot of little cousins around that age that I love dearly. And the last thing I'm saying about this, what you now ask me, they'll have to come for me. You understand me?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Good night.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, caller. And any one of you want to call in, the numbers are 770-3062 and 349-4542. I have a little issue with the internet on my side, so we know that your call from my side will come in a little shaky as well, but the guest and so will be able to hear you clearly, and she will definitely be able to respond to you. So feel free to call in on WhatsApp or on normal calls. And in the meanwhile, I am pulling up some questions. The vaccine going on expired. No one should take it. Yes, I find. Now hear this. I put your name in the next hat here, right? You're talking as a, let me use the word victim, and you're also speaking as a parent, right? But as someone who I am sure can answer this because of your field of work, do you know of any place where a medication is expiring and somebody with some big status have the authority to just add on to extend the expiry date and add on their date because they're thinking, okay, this public costs X amount of thousands or millions and we can't let it go down the drain?
Listen to me. The manufacturers created a product and they give it a shelf life for a reason. All right? Because they know what it can cause. Some persons may take the chance with a tin of baked beans after it expires a few days or close to expiry, they can eat it. Some people may turn out just fine, and others could have terrible allergic reaction, or the cause could be even death. That is of something simple like a tin of baked bean in a leaded lace steel can. Good? But something that is experimental, something that was only called to use because they say it was an emergency, without enough trial, and have caused so many issues during their testing period with the human beings. And it's close to the expiration date. Why would you want, I don't care who you are, sir or ma'am, why would you want an individual, let me sound like a certain on social media character, we know them, with the whole self, put it in them and fall down and dead. And then you will have people signing this disclosure, you're not responsible. And here, it's not even in somebody like me who passed my 30s and say, well, I live a little life, which I think I deserve the right to live as long as I can. But you want to put it in the future, which is our children, our young ones, our innocent ones, the most healthy, stable ones, our legacy. Why would you want to do something because you have the power and you studying how much the almighty dollar you spent? You want to compromise our children? I know you're not putting it in your grandchildren and your children. I don't even have to guess. I don't even have to use the word alleged. I don't even have to be careful. You're not putting it in your loved ones. So why do you expect us, the larger population, who you only see as a number, nothing personal to us, no name, no family, no nothing, just a number you see us as, and eradicate our young? Okay. Okay.
All right, so we have another caller here. Let's see if we can get the caller back on the live. Your live caller, good night.
Hi, sir.
Good night.
Yeah, are you hearing me?
Yes, we hear you.
Yes, we're hearing you.
Okay, great. Okay, good night, sister.
Good night.
Now, what I want to bring to everybody's attention is that this is a spiritual warfare that is taking place. And you have to fight fire with fire. All right? Like I said a while ago, right? This is, but the word corona is the Latin word for mentality. So this is a virus that deals with your mentality. This isn't necessarily a physical virus or not. This could be just the ordinary common cold that people make it manifest into something else because of the fear in their system. You see, the universe is spiraling into an upward climb where mankind itself is actually growing. And we are making things manifested. And it's out of two factors. It's either love or fear. Now, what's happening with people here now, right? They are more generated with fear because the media just projected fear, and they come with all different kind of strategies, right? Job security, this, that, all different kind of strategies, and people just falling victim to the old trick in the book. If you believe in God, right? Because we all are spiritual people, we all are spiritual entity, and this is a spiritual going on here. Now is that time for us to prove ourselves. We have come this far through spirituality. We've survived so much attack. This judgment that is taking place here right now, and coupled with this judgment is the resurrection. Now it's time for people to wake up. Now it's for people to wake up. And if you believe in God or have the slightest inkling of that positive entity you call God, you're going to realize the tricks of the devil. And this is a fact. Even the attitude, you know, that the problem. They threaten your job, forget the job. You have faith in God. Come on, everybody's faith is being tested here right now. Why are we falling short of the glory? Why are we falling? We are what we're supposed to be. We are create for us, putting in an ugly and a negative spirit in us. This is what we're doing. Watch me, listen. One of the greatest fear factor is the fear of death. So hear what I say. Let death call its heart, because in any case, people have to die. But the only thing is, you know, if we know where we are going, come on, now it's time to be spiritual. Now it's time to be spiritual. We, since our children, we taught them to be afraid of this, afraid of that, afraid of everything. And now the so-called owners of the world, those are evil entities. They don't belong to the planet. They are foreign entities. I have plenty more to say now. But I don't have too much time on the program. Everything has to be done in phases, because let me tell you something. You don't give a baby meat enough. you give a baby milk. And I know for a fact that John public is not really ready to hear what is really going on now. So we got to take it straight, right? You have my full support, and I'll always make a contribution. So be it.
Thank you so much. Well appreciated.
Thanks, brother. Thanks so much.
All the best, my brother.
Okay, thanks. Same to you. Okay, so yeah, what I'm going to do, viewers, because my internet connection is a little shaky, I am going to put the link to get anyone who wants to jump into the studio. And once your internet connection is good on your end, you will be heard loud and clear by the other viewers without any distortion. On my end, if you make the call, you may be able to get that distortion from my end, right? So I'm going to drop that link in the comment section here. Look for it, and I think I might edit the caption too and put the link. So for today, everyone is invited in the studio, right? I can only have 5 guests at one time. So when one person jump out, there will be space for more. Right? I'm opening up the studio tonight. Okay, I think I will do that tonight. Right. So in the meanwhile, let's see if our guests want to say anything to you by the time I'm sending the link. Say anything to the time I'm sending the link for them to join you in studio.
I was just reading some of the captions there, and
Oh,
where
nice.
people speaking about their job is the main reason. And speaking to anybody, be it my patients, relatives, be it people I meet traveling, be it anybody. Some of the first things people say when they ask the question, why they taking it, or we going for it, or why they take it, is because they are fearful of losing their livelihood, Junior. And as the other caller said, which is something my husband have been saying, you cannot say you trust in God, but then have fear for man. And he was saying to me, you have to exercise that faith in God. You really have to. And if you can't, if your job is compromised, you can make a living on next week. God will take care of us. He take care of the sparrow. So who is you? And I would honestly say, I say I had the faith, but I didn't exercise that faith, you know. It's now I'm willing to exercise it after taking the job.
You think it's too late? I don't think it's too late to exercise.
I don't think it's too late, you know. I believe I can take care of myself to an extent. Reverse this, and they could come with what booster, you know, a booster, but I wouldn't take it.
Right. So the link is in the comment section. It's also in the caption. Right. Feel free to come into the studio.
Junior, just excuse me 1 minute. Excuse me 1 minute.
Right.
Pause my screen. I'll be back in a second. You heard me?
Okay. Okay, we have someone in studio here. I'm not sure if their mic is muted, but we have someone in studio. If you are, once you are able to unmute your mic, please do so. You are in the studio already. Anyone else can feel free to join. I have space for 3 more guests. Also, you need to ensure that your internet connection is not as bad as mine. Okay. We have one person in studio. Apparently, their setting for their wasn't allowed. Right, so you could always feel free to try again. And anyone else want to join, feel free to come in. Right, you have the opportunity to have your say. All the way.
I'm on the water, baby.
All right, I think we not getting this connection here. I think in my mic issue. Right, so feel free to try again and give the streaming server permission to access your mic and camera, and you can always mute your camera. Okay, right. I think we have you here now. I am seeing the camera, and it's just to get your mic up and running. Well, your camera is working, just to get your audio, and you will be on live. Viewers, we have no options again. We don't have options to say that we could choose. Options have more than one thing on the table to choose from, and we are at a point where we don't have that. My connection is really dropping here. My connection is very bad. The only thing remaining for us to do is to start distance.
I don't want you on my now. I'm not even hearing him anymore. He on pause. I think he put me back on, but I'm not hearing him.
All right, so I'm trying to connect.
Hello. Good night. Hello. Is anybody here? Hello? Hello, good night. Uh, Daniel, are you hearing me?
I am hearing you. I'm hearing you loud and clear, so you could go right ahead. They will hear you loud and clear. Your internet is looking good.
Okay, great, great. Good night to all. Good night, Daniel. Good night, sister. I first I want to thank you, Daniel, for having me on. Sister, I'd like to commend you on your courage on coming forward. Let me introduce myself. I am Naeem Hussein. I am representing the Responsible Parents Group of Ireland and Tobago. Again, I'd like to comment on your courage on coming forward, and I hope that you would encourage others to do the same. I want to ask you a question. Do you think you are at all coerced or forced into taking this job? I'm not hearing you.
Do you have my phone? Tell Junior with my mic.
Oh, that was
Right,
good.
okay, I'm hearing you now.
To come back. So you're back on here now. You're back on. You could go ahead.
But I didn't hear his question thoroughly.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was asking, do you feel as though you were coerced or forced into accepting this job?
Indirectly, I was.
Do you care to elaborate on that?
All right. Again,
Was it stated by anyone as a condition of your employment or contract?
yes and no. Well, mostly I'm self-employed. But
Oh,
then
okay.
most of the population that I deal with, their relatives to get their services, I needed to be vaccinated to deal with their loved ones, to send my nurses to them or for me myself to deal with them.
Oh, okay. So you felt there's no choice.
I felt.
But I know someone asked already, but just for me to get it clear, and you being involved in the health sector, do you it is sufficient enough information being provided by the ministry about these vaccines?
No. From my point of view, I would say no. There's not enough being said to the public, and there's not enough education about it. They're using fear tactics and making you feel you have limited choice. So because of that, people would line up like cattle to the slaughter to have this done for some sort of security on one end or the other. So I will not judge anybody who doing it because they feel the squeeze.
Okay, just one last question. Do you feel that I forgot the question. All right, I'll let you go. Thanks for having me again.
Most welcome.
Okay, bye.
I am having some very, very bad connection on my. I'm hoping that I could do something about this internet. You know what is the strange thing? During the day, if you're hearing me, right? Do the one. Everything running smooth. And every time I am going to do my live stream, this internet just have a lot of issues. Serious enough. All the devices off right now, including the next device that I was using to monitor. This device is off right now. This is actually off right now as we speak. The internet on this is off. And suddenly, I am not getting through. And this is happening every time I am ready to do my 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. live stream.
You wonder why?
I don't even want to wonder.
Definitely.
So that keep happening, right? We have, let me see if I could count good. We have 7 more. We have 18 more minutes to go. 17 more minutes, right? So if we don't have any other calls coming in, you know, I have to really do something about my site, some technical, so that I can see these comments, right? But if you are able to see any and you want to respond to it, or you want to share any other thoughts within the 17 minutes that we have, because they can hear you and they can't hear me that much, I will leave it all up to you to continue sharing.
Juliana Joseph here made a point.
Comments, if you can.
So Miss Juliana Joseph here is saying vaccinated and unvaccinated need to stick and fight against the wicked agenda and blackmail. Now, Juliana, there are certain things I'm not willing to say, but this statement you made is one of the realest statements for the night. Reason being, there is somebody vaccinated in my home, and then there is also unvaccinated in my home, while I am going to protect and fight for them to remain unvaccinated. All right? And this is a way of putting us against each other. There are agendas. And this is blackmail. Because blackmail is when you're forcing somebody to do something against the will because of fear. So this definitely is blackmail. They say the voice of the people is the voice of God. And most of the things we hear on TikTok and over WhatsApp, and everybody who's lamenting about this situation, they're calling it propaganda and slander and people with their make-believe stories. But the voice of the people is the voice of God. And people, no, we may not have all the facts because they created this in a way for us not to have all the facts. But there is some truth to what we say, and the voice of the people is the voice of God. And then we all are aware that is fear tactics they're using to submit us. So we'll be submissive to their plan. I keep asking why. I want that big why answered. Why they want to vaccinate mass populations and the vaccine is not guaranteed or fully tried, it's experimental. Why you insist to put this in the majority of the population? What is your agenda? I do not have the full understanding of this, and I would not pretend to have. But most of us went and get this into our bodies because of fear and not knowing Why? Because it is not protecting us. They say it might make the virus, if we do catch it, less severe, chances of preserving life against death. But still, you stand a chance of wearing it. Still, persons who are vaccinated are having the PCA test done. Still, they're wearing masks. Still, with social distancing. So the question to me is a big why. Will I ever get an answer to that why? I don't know. But there must be some truth in the things the naysayers against this job is saying. And there is more to it that is not known to us. So again, I come repeating myself, why give the mass population of something that is not certain, not sure, not finished, not off trial just yet, still on trial? If this it was given because of an emergency, why? So that's my contribution, Jay.
One final question, if you can hear me, why are they not isolating the virus or purifying it? Why?
The next why. I don't
And
know.
after why, growing up, they always tell us after why is get zero answers to most of the or all of the important questions. Because the unimportant questions, we are getting a lot of answers, but the questions that really matter, no answers, right? So you could take one more call before we go.
Sure.
Okay.
Hi. Hi.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead and tell us why. Give us the answer. Go right ahead.
Okay. The answer as to why and what I'm doing. The reason why I'm not purifying and isolating this virus is common cold.
Not hearing you very clear.
And the reason why we are not isolating and purifying this virus is it's a common cold. There's a 90% chance anyone can get into this. What I said common cold. You know, long time when we get cold, our parents gave us good medicine, they gave us stuff to boost our immune system. There's zinc, there's vitamin D. Can you understand?
We can just sort of broken up, but I don't know if the guest is hearing you. You are hearing you? Are you
Yes,
hearing?
I'm hearing. Okay. Hello?
Yes, I am hearing you.
Hello, we're hearing you.
The reason why I'm not isolating and purifying the virus is because there's no virus. It's a normal common cold. Any human naturally, right?
So,
We are here original immunity. Or we are here about bad immunity. Original immunity, when taken out, is building your immune system the natural way.
are you saying it is not a virus?
I am saying it is no way to you out with virus. They are making it out to be something. It took a simple control and turned it into something else. Okay. we are talking about why we are saying from very level, because the same symptoms of COVID is like symptoms or
I understand.
I guess that's I answered it. But why
Okay.
all we are hearing about is inactive immunity, what I speak.
Yeah.
They are not hearing anything. I have to speak to take a vitamin, to bring into stuff, use vitamin C, use vitamin C,
Or go on
also
the beach.
use drink, eat healthy, fruits and vegetables.
They're not telling us to go on the beach either.
Exactly that. And it beats a lot when you have a cold, a stomach cold, or flu. It has usually many times. So I believe it's all necessary to have it out there to make it to something very positive. And all we are hearing about is in of I was listening to an advertisement and they tell us some amount of information here or from that person that they place there. But that advertisement there, that information was so misleading and so I don't know how to put it. You have a national health agency, a group and advocacy for the health ministry stated that if you take these inoculated jabs, you can protect them the and we are seeing today many children who are taking these inoculated medication. Inoculated experimental drugs. Well, that is the thing. So what it is I will be able to they haven't got motivation. They got normal talk today. What can be are you understand?
Yes, I understand what you're saying. I'm not sure if you heard it clearly because you are
I'm somehow breaking up. I've been trying to hear
8:55.
her.
So thanks very much for your contributions, caller, and thanks to all others who to contribute in one way or the other. We hope that we will have a follow-up with our guests in studio to give us some feedback later on how she is coping, if she has any further reaction she didn't foresee. Because some people are saying that some things didn't happen right away, and like 2 weeks after some things kick in, that they were hearing about and they were seeing people posting. But let's hope she wouldn't have anything further. And I will tell you all that tomorrow I'm from 8 p.m. to 8:55 p.m. Every day they will be like that, a very short live, right? So look forward to. But now tomorrow is Wednesday. Look at that. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I think tomorrow is Thursday. So tomorrow is the same 7 to 9. Sorry about that. 7 to 9. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I will think tomorrow is Thursday. Only forgive me. I'm sleepy too. Right? So viewers, callers, everyone, thanks very much. Thanks to our special guest in studio tonight, my beloved big cousin. I am happy that I can see you looking much better. I see that smile as well, which is lifting my spirit. So I'm sure we're living on a good mood tonight. Right? We sure living on a good mood tonight. So once again, thank you very, very much. And everyone do have a wonderful sleep.
Good night, everyone.
Right. Someone is saying blessed night. Thanks for coming. One, stay blessed. Bye.
Most welcome.